Hi and welcome to Blue Sky Bonsai, and welcome back to part 2 of this series on olives and olive bonsai. If you didn't catch part 1, you can find it here. I recommend you watch that first so you can see where I'm at with the styling of this wild olive bonsai. Enjoy the video. Okay, so I'm going to take another deep dive into the tree to see where we're up to and to see how I'm tidying up the crown here so that I can get a future nicer movement, nicer view of this bonsai. So here, looking down at it, you can see that I've made quite a big hole there in the canopy so that I can get some tools in there and tidy up that massive trunk chop that's been done a few years ago. Now, some deadwood like that you could turn into a feature, but when it's so obviously a man-made chop, I really don't think that'll ever be a feature. So what I'm going to do is turn these two branches, this one here into the new leader. That one will be a sideways branch at the top. This bit, this node just here, will be effectively the new highest part of the old trunk. So everything that's around here I'm going to chop off. Now the other thing is that you can see the live bark comes up to about here. So I'm going to be actually carving quite a long way into that deadwood. That means if this view of the tree is still my front view, a lot of that carving, whether I leave it as carving or leave it as deadwood, but that is on view from the front of the tree. So I have the choice of making it a feature, waiting till it's healed over, or turning the tree the other way round, making this the new front, leaning over, and so you can see inside there the bark goes quite high up, so turning that into a new lovely trunk front and hide the massive scar behind. It's good to have options. Now here, so if this one's going to be my new leader and that one's a side branch, over the other side of the trunk there are several branches. It's a bit difficult to see them, so just to start with I'm actually going to get rid of this inward branch here. It's obscuring the top a bit, so we can see a bit better down to the other side of the trunk chop. That comes right in the middle of the front, so first thing I am going to get rid of that one. Here we go. It's really thinning out this crown now. This is a reasonable shoot. We'll put that into the water. Got 3 so far, more to come. So the other thing, so here we've got my new leader, side branch at the top. And what we've got here at the back is another branch that comes kind of outwards from there, but then almost immediately directly upwards. So I might take that whole branch off, or I might just take this bit off, but I'm definitely going to take the vertical bit off anyway, so I'll start by taking that off, bung that in the water. So I've made a decision on this one, and I'm going to deep dive with the camera again so you see. Now if this is the front, then I've got my new leader, new top side branch, and as I turn it round, whichever way you look at it, this one here is obscuring this one. Now what you could do then is wire that one down, but actually in the event I don't need to, because I've got a branch right underneath it. So I can chop this one without any need to wire it down. Yes, it'll create a little chop site. That will heal up over time. But the same goes if I'm looking at it from my other possible new front. Let's look here. As I lean it back, you can see my new leader going vertically upwards there, and this branch to the right just obscures it, just is in the way. So I'm going to get rid of that, and it'll be another future bonsai. Really thinning out this crown now. Here we go. Gone. Let's clean this up and put it in my future bonsai's water. Future orchard style. Right, let's bang that in there. This is the alternative front. There's today the back, and now you can see a bit better into there. We've already got 2 chops. This side here is the current front, and this the top of the trunk chop that we see. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Let's just quickly get rid of this little piece here that's obscuring the view. Firstly, of these two, if this is the new front, then I only need one of these two. I've got my new leader here, and this one is coming straight towards the viewer. So chop this one, keep that one. Let's do that now. Not the most elegant of chops, but still tidying the view a little bit so we can make more decisions on the remaining 5. I do think this one now is going to be the last side branch before the new top of the tree. So we'll keep this one. Let's go from above. That one I'm keeping because it's a new side branch. When we carve away this top part, it's going to be a lot lower. I want a bit of sort of diagonal line coming down to here. And these two, both of the highest ones on the other side, can probably go too. Whichever way you look at it, they are higher than this side branch. And if I look from the current front view, they're sticking directly forwards. So let's just get rid of both of those. What I could try and do is actually chop a bit lower and turn those into a future twin trunk. Nice. Now let's see that chop site and see my future twin trunk. You can start seeing the shape of the old canopy of this tree. Let's see the chop site. Well, that's a big ugly chop. But like I say, I'm going to tidy that up when I carve the top of this anyway. You can also see that this other branch, which was the 6th one, is actually facing directly towards the viewer, directly in the front view, which could be chopped off later or not, but it's actually not coming as high as this, so I'll make a decision on that later in the year. It could be wired down a bit, or it could be chopped off. If this view becomes the new back of the tree, then that can probably stay there to create some depth the other side of the tree. Yeah, so I'm leaving that one there for now. Can always chop it off later. Let's just tidy up this little mess. So here we are left with much fewer branches around the top and quite an ugly, wow, that actually looks like an alien. The top of my tree looks like an alien now. That's great. I'm much more comfortable with that, how it's looking now. It's not congested anymore. The one thing I'm just going to very quickly go through and remove any trifurcating areas for all the normal reasons. Trifurcating here at the top, so we get rid of that one. something I did not expect to see, and I'm going to take a close-up of it. It's some kind of caterpillar building its little home. Sorry mate, you gotta go to the big butterfly home in the sky. Now, the way I'm going to do the guy wiring is attach a thicker wire to the bottom of the pot and have it looped round low down, and then from that loop you can get quite a few different very thin guy wires coming up with this 0.4mm, which is about, let's see, about I guess 1/8 of an inch, this copper wire. So it's very thin and it's very good for pulling for guy wires. Starting by putting this wire underneath and just literally attaching it to another wire that's already there underneath. Okay, so there's my loop, and from there I can create as many guy wires upwards as I like. Okay, so I'm going to get one here, put it around the loop. Now, although this is a 0.4mm wire, you can see how strong it is under tensile stress. That's to say, if I'm pulling it, I can actually lift up the pot. And that's with a 0.4mm wire, or let's say 1/8 of an inch one. So these copper wires are really good for guy wires. Okay, so next thing, on all of these wires I put a little bit of plastic sheathing so that the wire itself, especially such a thin copper wire, so it doesn't dig right into the bark of the branch. So here we go, let's just chop the wire to the right length. Let's make it a little bit longer just in case. Get the sheath on it. There we go. So, next trick is we just put it on to the bit of branch we want to pull down. The idea is to put it on loosely and then to actually tighten the bit of wire itself. Pull the branch down, the wire goes loose, and then I actually twist the wire itself to tighten it and keep it in position. So pulling the branch down, twist the wire. There we have it. Right, so now I can do the next one on this branch. Same thing. And I've already got what I've called a cascading guy wire. So I've got one wire going from a lower branch to an upper branch. So the wire is actually going to pull the upper branch down when I pull the lower branch down. That works. That's your cascading guy wire. So let's get a guy wire on this branch. That'll pull both of those down. And again, I can use this loop that I've made over here and just use a much thinner copper wire. In this case, I think I'm going to actually put the wire a bit further back into the branch rather than right at the very end. And the reason I'm going to do that is because about in the middle of the branch I've got this cascaded guy wire going up to the next branch up. So if I only put my guy wire here to the very end of the branch, what I'm going to get is the branch is going to go like that from the trunk to where the cascaded wire is, and then suddenly you go down from there. Don't really want that. I'd rather it kind of curve down gracefully to make it look like the weight of the leaves on the end are actually pulling the branch down. Now I'm just going to pull it down and do my wire twist again. How's that looking? Pretty good. There's something I'm really liking about this, which is you're getting kind of a slanting to the whole angle of the tree, and kind of gives it a bit more character. It sort of adds to the movement of the trunk as well. Now I think I might do a cascaded one from this branch to this branch as well, to pull that one down. And one of the advantages of cascaded guy wiring, you're not having all of these kind of loads of wires all coming up from the base of the pot. It's been a long day, and we all know that the work on a bonsai is never finished. It can always be improved, but I think I'm going to stop for the day. So let's give it a 360-degree twirl and you can have a look at how it's finished. Current rear side. Back to the current front. Let's go back to the back. I'm going to lean it up. I think that's how it would look. I'd lean it back a bit, so that the new leader and the new crown is kind of just on top, but also leaning forward. More in December, when I do a bit of carving here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that thumbs up button so the people at YouTube know that you liked it. If you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to Blue Sky Bonsai. Bye for now.